Thank you for joining me. In this watercolor landscape paintings, I'm going to demonstrate how to create atmosphere and distance. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, here's an exciting new reason for you to subscribe now. From here on, I will publish 3 new learning videos every week on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And on Sunday, the reference image for the video that most viewed and commented, I will upload it on YouTube for my subscribers to download. How to subscribe? Click the subscribe button below this video. I will give you 5 seconds before we start the painting. You know, I use exclusively the brushes from enjoyingart. Order yours today at enjoyingart.com brushes. This is the Prussian blue, and this one French ultramarine. I'm gonna mix a little gray color. I'm gonna have this, the row coming this way, and we're gonna have like the focal point, this area, and on this side, we can have it coming here, like that. It's pointing to. So this would be the tree. Like that. There is the bushes on the side over here, and we can keep the house very light, and maybe right here, and we can just put that right about here, like that. Make it a little flat, a little simple, like that, and have a little bit catch the shadow on this side. And the background, we're gonna have something really, really soft. So I'm gonna have a little bit blue. The background, it will be here, have some coming down before the house, like that. And on this side, have some background, very soft, like that. So this side of the house, it have a little bit roof, a little bit more like a gray, a little bit blue color, like that. And they have some of the track or textures on the landscape, so pointing to the focal point, the vanishing point over there. So let's keep looking at it to see. And then on this side, there will be catch the shadow, really help, and pointing to the sun coming this direction, right? I'm gonna coming the shadow pointing to the vanishing point over there. So coming up over here would be have some. We're still doing the drawing, just the drawing part. So that's some of the tree, the flat tree in the background over there, like that. So those color can be removed a little bit more, like going that direction. They're a little bit flat over there, and we can do the background and ignore the tree and the at the foreground over here. And looks like this is pretty good. I'm gonna have this a little bit more going into this direction, like that, and then have some texture go into that. And since we're removing the tree, so I'm gonna have this house a little bit lower, like that. The bottom of the house come a little bit lower right here, like that, right? All right, I think this is gonna be the big tree over here. Okay, let's start from the very far away. That is the sky. So let's start from the top. It looks like there's the green shade blue color. So I'm gonna start from the top, a little bit darker, and this is called gradient wash. The gradient wash is compared to the flat wash, right? The flat wash is very much the same color from the top to the bottom. And you can see that the top over here get a little bit darker. There's even more blue, right? Coming over here, all the way down. When they're coming down, it gradually turns into a little bit red at the bottom. So when we're painting this, we don't need to worry about that because at the bottom over here, this color all the way can go into the foreground, right? So it's no need to worry about. So I'm gonna just put the darker blue color just with the water. I know that this is a little bit scary. Let's put it over here, and then make sure the top over there is dark enough blue. So I'm gonna make it even darker right there. Okay, a little bit darker, and then I'm going to start changing just the water. Okay, now clean the brush just by using the water, and will become the gradient wash. Now I'm gonna just clean all the paint away. Just use the water, okay, like this, and you can see that the color is look like a little bit more red shade right here. Come a little bit like this, open up a little bit more, give a little bit dynamic, so it's not like open up. The road have a different color, but you can make it even a little bit different. So the front over here, I'm gonna get a little color a little bit brighter right over here like that. And now let's paint the background over here. Let's take a look at the background. The background trees are very, very light. So control that and don't make it, this is too red. It needs a little bit more blue color. I'm gonna take the blue color and that would be fine. Take a look at that. Is that color good? And this is definitely not very bright, but it may be too dark. So I'm gonna dilute that a little bit more. I think this could be okay. All right, let's start it. And remember, this is the horizon line, right? So the tree can be start over here. Now I'm gonna put this up over here and just put it like here and go down like this, not going and going down, keep coming down like that. That'll be fine. And then we're gonna do something over here too and make that the background tree like that. Use the side of the brush like that. That will be fine. Have some shape over there, and this is good. And I'm gonna have this, and then also have some color over here. Now I'm gonna add a little bit water. Okay, make it a little bit lighter. Okay, right here, and have something a little bit color like that. And but making sure it's a lighter if you think it should be farther away. So at the bottom over here, I'm gonna make this a little bit softer. So just use the water to light up the bottom over here. So make it a little bit lighter, kind of disappear. And the bottom over here too. Just use the water to wash the bottom. Okay, a little bit like that. Now it's feel like a very, very soft. Okay, like a, but it's definitely give enough suggestions that is very far away. Can you see that? Make the bottom softer. So this is how we create that feeling a little bit softer over here. Because of the house, I'm going to put it here a little bit higher, like right here, so that this need to be come down a little bit, so it's not really connect to the top of the roof, right? We can make this a little bit softer here too, like that. So just keep a little bit intentional. Okay, this is good. And this is already getting dry, almost. So I really want to go into the painter's tree, but the tree can be like the last thing we're gonna paint, right? So this is a very far away object, and we're gonna paint the tree a little bit closer. So we're gonna wait until that fully dry. Otherwise, they're gonna merge together, right? So let's take a look at what else we're gonna do. Something I know we can do over here. We can want to change the the plane on the ground a little bit, so I need to use the flat brush. Okay, and I'm going to use the flat brush, use a little bit gray color. The gray color, like this, I think this color is gray enough. So this is good. I'm going to have this coming like this. You just use the corner of this brush like that coming. We don't have to make it very smooth. We can have a little bit turning like that, a little bit turning like that. That will be fine. So we don't want it to connect too much to that. So I'm going to also make that a little bit softer over here too. So not really fully connect to the front. So if you want, you can also still can light up a little bit up over there. Keep a little distance. Okay, that's good. So I'm going to just make this feel like this has a different kind of property than the front over here. So we're going to also have a little bit catch the shadow. It looks like a little bit catch the shadow. So we're going to have something like this. Okay, a little bit like that. That will be fine. Like that. So the front over here, the tree will be in this area, right? It looks like the ground is ready for us to put the catch the shadow right from here. Like that. Look at that coming over. So we're going to have a little bit more like that, the tree coming over. It's interesting. I'm going to have a little bit more like that. Okay. That's good. All right. Okay. That's good. And we're going to have a little bit coming over here too, but I don't know where this, okay, that's probably fine. So don't overdo it, otherwise it may be not dark enough. I'm probably going to have a little bit blue, a little bit red shade blue, and have a little red to it. Okay, now it's just not as bright. I'm going to probably put this, okay, a little bit more darker, like that. I'm going to add a little water, make the color. The color in the brush is just not really that dark. So let's take a look. And it may be right here. Just put a little color like that. This is good. It's almost, this is the plane. Now I'm gonna horizontal, making sure that it feel a little bit horizontal like this. And don't make 3 of them at the same size and the same distance. Okay, this can become up a little bit like that. Okay, that's probably good enough. And the value of the color, it looks pretty good already. Okay, so and then I'm going to use the side of this brush. You can see the hair like this, and this is a little bit sharp, right? I'm going to use the side of this. I'm going to take a look, and I'm going to have just a few line like that coming like this. Okay, this is good. Okay, and take a look on this tree. Like it's the same color, the same distance, like that. It's almost like keep it very relaxing. This tree can be a little bit more. I can draw a few more lines like that. And the top over here can have a little bit more open. Okay. Like that. That will be fine. Okay. So we have some tree over there. Now it looks like, okay, I'm going to shade it a little bit, but I don't want to add more color. Just shade a shape. I want the hair come together at the tip. So I'm going to have this a little bit, a few more lines Okay, here we go. Okay, have a little bit more coming down over here. This is good. And it looks like there's something all going on over there. So can be a little bit higher. Keep in mind, it's the same color. Okay, I'm gonna have this coming a little bit more open. A little bit. Like that. Okay, that's probably open enough. That's should be good in very good suggestions for that. Okay, so this is pretty good for very far away. This is also feeling a little bit far away. Now we're gonna add a little bit shape over here, and we're gonna start adding some of the tree here. So I'm gonna just use the side of this brush like that, and start adding some shape with the also feeling a little bit distance. So I'm gonna have this like that. Okay, that should be interesting enough shape. I want to keep a little bit open. I see a little bit gap like that. That is considered is a little bit farther away, right? So we're gonna add another shape over here in the front and bring it a little bit closer. Now at this point, I'm gonna also just a clean brush, okay, no color, but I'm gonna have this a little bit softer. So make this even feeling like the edge over here has a little tree, a little bit even farther away, okay? And that's interesting enough. This is good. I'm gonna soften that a little bit and make that feel a little bit farther, okay? More and more into the distance, right? I may not really want that feeling any closer. I think this is pretty good suggestions, but for this, I'm gonna touch it with the same color. I'm gonna have a little bit dry brush for the tree over here. Okay, like that. Give it a feel a little bit more like that. But I don't want to introduce any other colors. So this is pretty good. And we come back to do this tree after this drive. And we're gonna paint this house. And where we're gonna paint the house? We're gonna paint the house. How about right here? The tree is gonna be here, so the house is gonna be here. So as we talk about, we don't want to make the house look a little bit too close, so we're gonna make it a little bit lighter. On the rooftop, we're gonna have a little bit green shade and the red shade mixed a little bit on the left side because we see a little bit snow. So it's seeing that, but we don't want to make it too dark, right? So we're gonna take a look at right here. We're gonna take a look at this will be the house in that case right here. So the ground would be here. So the ground over here. So the rooftop would be here. Okay, like that. That's good. So this is side of the house, seeing the snow in the shadow side. Okay. And then after that drive, we're gonna paint the other side of the house, which is just the gray color. Okay. And on this side, maybe, but don't make the value too dark. It's very important. So we're gonna have this side. I should wait. So we're gonna let it dry first and come back. So we want it a little bit more clear. Okay, this is good. Let's take a little bit about the road over here. We have quite a bit of the develop. So let's see the texture from the distance all the way coming over here. We can start from light to a little bit darker and darker. So we're gonna pick this color, very much the same color, but have a little bit more blue. Can be a little bit blue in it. So we're gonna use this. Just open up the brush like this and have a little bit more open like that. That's good. Here we go. I'm gonna coming over here, like drag the color. Okay, like use the from here all the way over here, like coming closer and closer, like that. Okay, that's good. Coming over here. Don't worry. If something we don't want it, we can actually remove them. Okay. Okay, that's good. Some of them we don't want it, soften it. Okay. You can just let it go. And some are good and we can keep it. Okay, a little bit over here, we can let it go. Okay, a little bit over here, we can let it go. Okay. Just soften that. Okay, that's good. Now we already have a little bit more suggestions and the movement over here. So we'll come back to do another round. So let's see. We want to have a little bit indication inside over here. We're gonna have that little bit, a little bit tap. I see a little bit kind of shadow in the front over here. Okay, and then we also have, as you see, when we have a little bit darker color over here, we add also brighter color. It instantly make it feel like it's something closer to us. Okay, a little bit farther away, like that. Okay, this is good, like this. And we come back over here, make this even darker, like that. And we're also gonna use a little brighter color, coming a little bit over here, like have a little bit more brighter color over here too. So it doesn't really make this feel like so lonely. Okay, gonna have a little bit red shade blue color, just like that. Actually, some of the things is all there. We just tend to not see it. But if you're thinking about it and you're actually seeing that all there, we can find them and so easily. So now I'm gonna have the little bit darker color and have a little bit brighter blue. Now I'm gonna open up the brush again. Okay, you see, and have a few more shape. Since we're doing this, and the background and the trees will be all dry, and we're seeing that has a little bit more curve like this, kind of make it interesting. A little curve like that. Right, very fun. Now this already dry. This is good. Now I have more. Okay, have the dry brush. The brush open up like this. Very good. Seeing that, just step by step. Over here, I'm gonna create some little bit more small shape like that. Have a little bit smaller shape like that. Kind of pretty fun. And okay. Okay, also on this side, I'm gonna have a little bit more smaller shape. Some dry texture like that. Okay, point it into that. So this is good. The front over here, we can keep a little bit lighter and also create a little bit more contrast between light and dark. Okay, like this. And seeing a little bit more like that in the background over there. I see a little bit shape. Okay, this is good. And some of them maybe a little bit too much. I can soften that. Let it go. Okay, this is pretty good. Maybe a little bit more. But we can come back to a little bit more. Like when you get a little bit farther away, also the color's not so bright. Okay, you see that? And then use a little bit gray color. Okay, like that. All right, looks is pretty good. The trees is good. The farther away already. Now we're gonna paint the house, the other side of the house. So now I'm gonna use just a little bit blue with the red, but not too dark. So we're gonna watch out how dark it's supposed to be. I'm gonna take a look on this side. Okay, if it's too dark, we're gonna stop, or we're gonna have to remove the color like that. This is good. Okay, it's not the object making it look interesting. It's how we use and the different dynamic contrast. Okay, that may be too dark. Okay, so I'm going to just use the water to soften it. And seeing that, that's a little bit lighter. When they're a little bit lighter, it feel like it's very far away. Okay, that's good. Like that. It's very far away, right? Okay, the bottom over here, make it a little bit softer. Okay, this side is the shadow side. I'm gonna make it a little bit, just a little bit darker. Okay, like that. So let's catch the shadow over here too. Like this, coming over. Okay, like that. That's interesting. Soften that a little bit right there. Okay, now on this side, we'll also give it a little bit, feel a little bit darker. So create that little bit soft edges over there. So I'm gonna have this a little bit softer, like that, and seeing that just the value over here, a little bit darker, and then the other side, right? But over here too, I'm gonna have raise that up a little bit, have a little bit softer feeling. That also the top of the land as well as the catch the shadow of the house. So the house is there, right? It's a very simple solution. So now let's walk into this house, this trees, this big tree. And we're gonna paint the leaf first, okay? We're gonna paint, mix a little bit brown color. So this is a little bit orange color. So we're gonna use this first. And open up look at the brush, like open up a little bit more. And look at that right over here. That's seeing that? That's a little bit bright color. Like seeing the very dry brush coming down like this. Looks like a willow tree, okay? Right over here. Like that. Kind of interesting. Maybe a little bit more red, a little bit more brownish color. Like that. Okay, this is good. And the bottom over here also have this color, as well as the front over here have a little bit more of this color, showing that there's a part of it a little bit closer to us, right? And also we can have a little bit red. Yeah, you can see that painting landscape, the tree, something like that, it can be very relaxing. And as long as you don't actually get too nervous about, oh, this is tree, okay? Instead of, think about how they use the color and the value, okay? Like that. A little bit coming down, the dry brush. And then the bottom over here, we're gonna have some bright color over here too. I'm gonna have this a little bit closer, like that. Have a little bit dry brush first. Okay, now I'm gonna come back to use a little bit darker color, which is some of the trees, the branches is a little bit in the shadow. So I'm gonna mix the red with the blue color together. Okay, now look at the brush like that. Look at awful, but this is exactly intentional. We want that a little bit open. So okay, here you go. Okay, have that. And we're gonna have this some a little bit over here, a little bit darker, like that. There's a little bit dry brush, okay, and like that, and pushing up and then down, pushing up and then down, okay, like that. Very good. And a little bit in the middle over here. Yeah, that's coming down a little bit more. I think this is pretty good. And over here, add a little bit more. And a little bit coming down. Okay. And then after we've finished the branches, and then we come back to add a little bit more. at the bottom over here, we want to add a little bit bush. I'm going to get the red and the yellow color, right? I'm going to have a little bit more down right here, right over here, like that. That's good. A little bit wet, like that. This is good. That. Wonderful. I'm going to get a little bit more yellow mixed into here. So hopefully through this exercise, you can see the landscape painting in a different lens. I'm going to have that open up a little bit more. Okay, this is good. Now we're going to have a little bit more shadow. Okay, that's can have a little bit more wet right here. Okay, it's not all the same. It can be a little wet. So I'm going to have a little bit more blue and the red together. Now we're going to have this open up a little bit. Okay, this is the shadow. To see this whole bush. Okay, have a little feel coming up like that. This is good. Okay, that's good. At the bottom, have a little bit open. That will be fine, like that. And here we go. Let's put the tree trunk and the branches. Look at the color. What's the color look like? This is fine. This the color, same color that we use for the leaves. Now, I'm going to start from pick one, and then the second one, and I'm going to see that right in the middle over here, I'm going to pick this and see this coming down, and look at it, and do it slower, okay, like that. That's good. And down over here, and like that. This is pretty good. All the way down over here. And we're going to have a little bit connection. There's a little bit light. We can add a little bit French adamantine for this the snow on the tree trunk. I'm going to have this a little bit darker, a little bit thicker, like that. That we have one. And I'm going to have this coming over from here, from small, and like this, and then coming to here. Okay, that's another one. Okay, I'm going to have something over here, very thin, like that, and seeing that coming over like this. There you go. That's good. Okay, some line. Okay, don't automatically doing it. Okay, just pay attention. Think about, observe it. Okay, so this is another tree coming over here. And turn a little bit. And then come down right there. And here you go. That's good. So if you have any problem of using this brush, let me know. I can come to give you more help. Okay. Your question is, why do I do the leaf first, then do the trunk? I think that can be reversed. Let me think about that. Why? Sometimes I do it one way, sometimes I do it the other way. And I think first it may not really matter too much. But probably the reason for that today is because I want to enforce the shape first, so that I develop the shape, the larger shape, and then I come back to develop the branches, the tree trunks, And then I'm going to come back to the leaf again. So I guess I am working on the larger shape first, and then before going to develop the details. And after that, I'm still going back to reform the shape. Like I see over here, I'm not too happy with about the shape in the middle, the interim shape over here. I kind of good, but it's a little bit too open. A little bit, I need to working on the leaves a little bit more. Maybe over here a little bit more brownish and so on. But the leaves is not finished, okay. But I just try to create that impression in the larger chunk before smaller pieces, and hopefully that make sense. But it doesn't have to be this way. You can draw this first, draw those lines, and then add that to it, add the leaf to it. It's okay too. And again, I sometimes do it the other way or this way. Okay, like that. Okay, it's important to draw a little bit slower. Okay, otherwise it doesn't look like tree. Okay, again. You don't have to overdo it or too much. Like that. And some are coming up right here. Okay. Okay, I think the detail is pretty good already. Right here, and I think I'm gonna have that just get the red shade blue color. Coming back over here to shade a little bit over here, you instantly feeling that's the snow, right? That's just good. Now I'm gonna come back to, and as I said, I'm gonna have that a little bit more red over here, and with the yellow, and a little bit more like orangeness color, a little bit brighter on this tree over here, a little bit more. This is good. Oh, too much red. This is good. Again, don't want too much water. If you feel like it could be too much water, you want to use the tissues. Make sure let go some of them. It's because when you overuse the water, and we're actually killing the feeling of the dryness. So I want this a little bit more warm color over here. The feeling like there's some light, the sun hitting this area. And you see this a little bit more connected. Okay, coming down like this. That's good. So a little bit over here too. Just drive across a little bit of that color too. And a little bit better already. So I'm now I'm going to coming back here, have a little bit, this is a little bit more dense area. Okay, that's good. And have a few vertical over here too. Okay, that's good. And I'm gonna have this open up a little bit more. Okay, it's kind of fun. And over here, have a little bit more open up. I'm gonna have a little bit more gray like that. Okay, here you go. Open up a little bit more. Okay, now I'm gonna have just a little bit darker, so showing there's a couple spot and feeling that they are a little bit more overlapping. So I'm gonna have just the red and the blue color. Okay, but a little careful. If you do more like that, they're gonna merge all together, and in that case, doesn't look like tree. Okay, a little bit over here too, like that. Okay, a little bit line over here too, like that. Okay, here you go, Like that. That's good. Like that. That's good. That's good. Now I'm gonna work on a little bit more on the distant, a little bit distant tree. So I'm gonna have a little bit more. I'm gonna give it a little bit more like that, a little bit brownish color, but I don't want too much. Like I have the brush scratch, give a little bit less, right? Now I'm gonna have this, bring a little bit closer, a little bit feeling a little bit too far away. Now this is good. On this side, I'm gonna have a little bit blue. I'm gonna make it feeling a little bit more like 3D form. Okay, right there. Okay, that's good. Like that. It open up a little bit more, like that. Okay, will be fine. Okay. Okay, the bottom over here. So on the other side, and I think it'll be fine. I think that can be a little bit lighter over here. I can light that up a little bit. Okay, any question at this point? The catch the shadow, I'm going to work more on it. Okay, get a little bit more red shade blue color. And especially the one at the front over here, that's okay. Just drag the brush over like that. A little bit smaller. And that's good. The CS is a three-dimensional form. So you can see this a little bit darker, but you can come back to do that a little bit later if you want. So over here, I'm gonna have that little shape open a little bit like that, because this is just very close to us. I'm gonna have the shadow a little bit darker like that. And I can have some actually a little bit open if I want to. I'm gonna have something a little bit more like that and make it even more, more interesting. I can have a couple at the front. If you also like oil painting, you can see how I paint this in another YouTube channel. The link in the description. I will see you in my next video.